The opinions of this podcast are solely those of the creators and do not reflect the opinions of the filmmakers involved. If you are of legal drinking age, feel free to have a drink with us, but please do drink responsibly. You're listening to Cole-astic Cinema.
They're heading for the canyon. They're going back to the Citadel.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Damn you, Salazar!
With your hosts, Fabian Salazar. Other people enjoy it. If you don't like it, keep it to your fucking self and move on. Unless you have a podcast, then share it with the world. And Cole Butterfield.
You know what you look like to me? With your good bag and your cheap shoes. Well, you look like a rube, to be frank. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste.
Where we talk about movies.
Most of the time.
I want to. It's stupid and boring.
So come along for a ride and have fun. So it is spooky season. It is October as the time of recording. We are in October 7th. It's a fantastic month. It's my favorite month of the year. And I'll tell you why. You already know why. Everybody knows why. I'm a horror fan. I'm a huge fan of anything horror. And we will be treating you to some fantastic horror movies that are in my back catalog of movies that I love, movies I hate, and movies that are just okay. And we'll let you know what ones we recommend. But the one we are watching today, I do highly recommend, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So one thing I do want to talk about is my 31 Days of Halloween. I do this every October. It wasn't originally my idea, but I adapted it for me because it is a really fun concept that I just absolutely love doing. So you watch a horror movie through every day in October. Now that's a simple, basic premise of it, but I take it to the next level because I'm fun. So what I like to do is I like to separate.
Oh boy!
Yeah, pull it push it down from the arms. Yeah, because that's not screwed in.
Yeah, no, hey. What's up, bitches? It's Cole, and I love to make an entrance. Oh my God, is this okay?
Cole just almost destroyed the backsplash of my brand new desk.
It's a new area. I'm getting used to it. It's
like I said, we're this is a new desk. We're trying to figure shit out.
Oh, no.
I think it just popped out of the frame.
Yeah,
it should be
good
okay.
yeah.
We'll fix that later. Just set it on top of the Xbox. It's fine. So let me finish my thought before we get into the preamble.
Yeah.
I need to take advice from my own. Yeah. So when you're pushing it
Yes.
down, push it from the top of this.
The top of the thing.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So finishing my thought, so I take the 31 Days of Halloween to the next level by separating the weeks in October into different subgenres of horror. So week 1 is monsters, week 2 is slashers, week 3 is demons, ghosts, and witches. Week 4 is parodies like Evil Dead or Scary Movie or stuff like that, and psychological thrillers. That borderline horror movies. So those are fun. And then the last week, which is usually only 3 or 4 days, I save for the classics. So anything pre-1970, which I really lean into and sometimes watch, like the 1930s original Universal horror movies, or even go back further and watch like Nosferatu and the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Anyway, getting back into the episode, thank you for letting me be a nerd for a minute.
No, man. No. Thank you for letting me take care of some off-mic stuff, and then for nearly destroying this thing on the first fucking episode with the new goddamn desk.
Fuck, man.
I am destructive. And unintentionally so.
Well, it's funny either way, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Okay, so today, I guess I should probably pull up my notes so I can just read it off the thing. Today we are watching the 2015 controversial polarizing movie, The Witch.
The Witch, which I legitimately thought was the Vivish for the longest time because of how the title is spelled
Because
out.
of the old English spelling.
Exactly. Because they're just like maybe have lightly dulled the bottoms of the W so it didn't look so sharp like two V's.
Yeah.
Like it took me longer than I care to admit when I saw the trailer first. I'm like, the Vivish. What the fuck is the fucking? Witch.
So The Witch, the full title is The Witch, A New England Folktale. So this was a play in the 1700s that they would put on, sort of like after maybe during, but after the Salem witch trials and everything. But it's set during that time. And yeah, it's a very, very fun movie, but it is read in Old English and acted in Old English. So it's kind of divisive between
Those who
people that
understand Old English and those who
that can
don't understand
that
Old
can get
English.
into it or not. It's a very artsy movie, and it's I for one love it. Think it's one of my top 10 favorite horror movies. So yeah, it was released in February in 2016, which is fun. People don't think about February being a horror like.
Well, I mean, if you think about how February actually is, though, like just around the world, at least in the United States, February is just a garbage goddamn month.
Yeah, especially in Utah.
Especially in Utah, like it is. You're past the white brightness that is fucking Christmas time. Or are you cocksuckers who think that's a fun holiday?
It's after January. Like
January,
everything's dead.
Everything's
it's cold,
dead and gray. It's cold. February is the embodiment of gray and damp.
Yeah. So it's I think about February as being a height of horror months too. Like October and February are the two, which is fun, but also weird to think about considering like Valentine's Day is in February, and everybody think about love and everything. But I'm like, no, I mean horror, but it also goes hand in hand. Like, let's go watch a spooky movie as a couple and stuff, and that's what I like to do.
Or the horror of realizing, oh my god, it's Valentine's Day. Fuck.
Yeah, I gotta. Oh, how much money am I gonna fucking drop?
Or the horror of conversation, like, hey, so this is still pretty fresh. What are we thinking?
Yeah. Am I gonna get you like a big old stuffed bear with the?
Do I need to go all
heart
out?
Of chocolates? Like, what am I doing? Are we going to like? Regardless, if you're dating me, we're going to a fancy restaurant.
Restaurant. Be like, what's? Just too many levels here. This is terrifying in such a short amount of time. We're also already halfway through the month. Come this fucking holiday.
Exactly. So yeah, this movie was. Yeah, it was already released. It was filmed in Ontario. Ooh. Excuse me. It was made for an estimated $4 million and grossed back $40 million.
So it did okay.
Yeah, it did just fine. What was the other thing? Oh, one of the big things that I love about this movie is all natural light.
All natural.
Natural light.
Let's go. Hairy lights.
So what that means for people that don't know, they don't have any artificial lighting, say like a big old light on a stand or something, but they use all natural lighting, so only from the sun or candles, and that's it.
This is artsy as fuck.
They can still use like bounce card to bounce the sunlight and everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, in this movie, I wouldn't count on it because it's mostly like overcast and dark and derelict. But it shows on screen. It's a darker movie.
I mean, that's a fun little fact to hear. I don't know if Ontario appreciates that. It's like, we just use all natural lighting, so we went to Ontario.
Yeah,
it's gray.
No, I'm sure they appreciate it from the fucking the tourism or shit. I don't know. It's cheap to film in Ontario, I guess. Not to discredit Ontario, but
no, because people.
But
they want movies, so they want things filmed there. Why
it's
not?
It's also part of that coast. Like I didn't know where Ontario was until recently.
Way to be a product of the American education system.
Yeah, like I honestly didn't know until recently. I'm like, oh, Ontario's over by the East Coast. I thought, like, for some reason, I thought it was over by the West Coast. I don't know why.
Oh, and that's just the brilliance of being an American. It's because we don't know where anything is besides America. Like, we learn, like, all the states and shit before we even cover.
Well, I mean, fucking, I know where shit is in, well, I guess America. Yeah, it was, like, North America, South America, and most of Europe. But, like, other than that, like, I don't know about Canada at all.
I don't know, and I can't place anything anywhere. I was watching...
I was just about to say I don't know where Toronto is, but that's in Ontario.
It's literally in the name.
It's the capital of Ontario. or at least I think it is.
Yeah, no, I was watching After Midnight, and they played a game like guess where this European country is, and then I was going through the comments, and like all the non-American commenters like, how in the fuck is this a game? What do you mean? No, like this is just school questions. Like, oh no, man, this is America. This is a hard fucking game. Point out something that's not from this country.
Yeah.
On a map and figure it out. Hell, most people can't even fucking properly place the states correctly.
That shocks me. That one shocks me. Okay, so what else? Oh, casting and directing. This movie was directed by Robert Eggers and written by Robert Eggers, one of my new favorite horror directors of all time. He's so much fun. Keep your eyes on him. He also, he also did The Lighthouse, which we watched a little bit ago, and The Northman, which we talked about off mic today.
Not even just today. We talk about the Northman.
Yeah, I do talk about that. Yeah, because my dick gets really hard talking about the Skarsgårds.
Oh my God, Skarsgård Hamlet.
Anyway, this movie, let's see, cast. The cast is Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Ineson, and he plays the dad. I love his voice. His voice is awesome. Kate Dickie, of Game of Thrones fame. She played Catelyn Stark's sister, who's breastfeeding her son in the first season. I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but the people who have will get it.
I watched the first season, but that was also like what, 20 years ago?
Yeah, fucking 10 years ago.
Might as well.
No, more 14 years ago.
See, we're all getting old.
Julian Richings, who played Death in Supernatural.
Tight.
Hell
yeah.
And then a bunch of other people. Well, not a bunch of other people.
I'm excited. It's got
that was the top bill.
I like that Death from Supernatural's in there because I don't often have my my ringtones on from my phone because I'm a manager and an introvert and I don't want to hear from any of you. But when my phone does ring, it does play that Death intro. Oh Death.
That scene is so awesome and so well shot.
Oh yeah, and just haunting, chilling. So does like when I do have my ringtones on,
when he just brushes the shoulder and the dude dies, like it's fucking awesome.
Everything done slow mo, like really really well done. I like the song a lot, so it's like on my phone. So
I love that they modernized it too, whereas like their horses are just old muscle cars.
Yeah, it also just fits in vein with the entire thing. You know, like why would they be anything but a muscle fucking car?
Yeah,
like, are you kidding me?
It's perfect. It's Supernatural.
Come
old
on,
muscle cars are the shit.
You guys came to the show for a reason. We're here to fucking deliver. That's why Eric Kripke's doing the same thing with goddamn The Boys. It's just like,
oh yeah, I remember when Supernatural was good.
Oh yeah, but
yeah, this movie, so I'll share a couple stories without getting too in-depth detail. I was super hyped for this movie. This movie came out or was announced during my first year of college. So I was super pumped for it, and I was like, okay, cool. And then just learning about it being natural lighting and everything, I thought that was super cool. I didn't know it was going to be in Old English, but I am an artsy motherfucker, so when I went to go see it for the first time, it took me a little bit to get into it, but I was like, okay, I'm sold. This is fun. This is more of an art piece than it is like just crazy. It's witches.
Yeah.
So it was really fun getting into it. The only downside that I had was besides me and two other motherfuckers in the theater was empty.
Ooh.
And I would have been fine with that. Like, I would have been like, okay, whatever. I can get behind that. I can see a movie alone. But the two guys sat right in front of me.
What?
And were shitting on the movie the entire time.
Folks, shut the fuck up when you go to watch a goddamn movie.
Seriously. Stop fucking talking during movies.
Don't want to hear your commentary. Like that's like at home shit. Like
yeah,
go
do that shit at home.
If it's a movie I haven't seen or watching it at home, shut the fuck up. That's one of the things I love about movies is if everyone does it correctly, it's just everybody shutting the fuck up for at least 90 goddamn minutes.
Dude, like just stop. Like with a movie like this, it's different. Like if it's a fun action packed bullshit movie, like I don't give a shit if you talk because we're not.
I mean, I can kind of see being like yeah,
it doesn't
little comments.
It doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah.
Like if it's an Avengers movie, like it's like yeah, it's cool, but if it's at home, it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's on. I've seen it in theaters. No, but at home, in theaters, don't fucking talk.
Yeah, no, don't fucking talk. I don't want to hear it. Although there's only one time somebody talked during a movie that was appropriate, and I could not say anything about it. And it's when I saw Django Unchained with my brother and Robbie.
Yeah.
And it was another one of those situations. I think this was like before the show. This back when the Sugar House still had a dollar theater. I think that's around the same time. But we went to go watch it and started enjoying it. But like literally right next to us was a black guy and just enjoying the movie a whole bunch and just talking. And he's like, I can't say anything because you're right. He's like, oh, dude, get yours. Like shouting out and just getting super pumped for it the entire time. It's like, dude, I can't even fault you, man. Like this is super. You're making this movie even a bit more enjoyable now. It's like, fuck yeah. Like I'm hyped off of your hype, man. Let's fucking go. Get him, Django. God damn it. You're right. That D is sound. Let's fucking go. But like,
no, I'm with you on that. It's like when I went and saw Get Out, where it was like me, it was like half Mexican, and I was like, okay, but I was with this incredibly white chick. She had a fat ass though. I was like,
that's a Utah thing. That's a lot of white chicks with fat asses for some weird reason.
Well, not fat as in like.
Oh no,
it was also well.
No,
shaped.
I mean PHAT.
Yeah, it was well shaped. I mean, I asked her out for a reason, right?
Cake.
Anyway, it was just me and her, and then the rest of the theater was full of black people, and I was just laughing and having a good time the whole time. I was like, hell yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting off topic.
Oh yeah, but that's still. Other than that, though, don't talk during the goddamn movie.
Yeah, don't talk during a fucking movie, and like. Even at home, like this movie's different because like action movies, like I want to be like blah 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 blah, like getting into it and fun at home and do that shit at home. But like artsy movies where you have to fucking pay attention, like don't do that shit. Like in the theater, these guys are like, this movie's fucking gay, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I'm quoting. I'm not saying that to say that. I'm quoting.
Stinging insight. Brilliant.
I'm quoting.
This movie,
is not me. This is these guys in front of me.
This movie is fucking gay. Just the depth behind.
And they stayed for the full thing.
Then why the fuck would you? Also, you are spending money and theater like movies. It's not cheap to go to a goddamn movie anymore.
Okay,
like, so just shut up and
backpedaling a little bit. It wasn't just me. It was me and my parents. Because I forgot the next little bit. I'm remembering as I share the story. So yeah, all that shit happens, and we walk out of the theater, and it was one of the ones I wanted to go see, so I dragged them along. And as we were walking out, like my mom asked, she was like, "So how did you like it?" And the two guys were like right in front of me. We were walking out to the exit, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I would have really enjoyed it if the guys in front of me would have shut the fuck up." And yeah, they both like bowed their heads down and walked out the door.
Yeah, because don't talk during a fucking movie, man. And if you're hating the movie, just leave. You can leave. It's fine. You can ask for a refund. It's going to take a while for that 15-year-old to get you that refund, and he's going to do it very begrudgingly. But that's the whole point of that's part of the experience of going to the movies is dealing with all the exhausted, disgruntled teenagers.
That's also just part of art.
Yeah,
it's like not everybody's gonna enjoy it. Yeah. If you don't enjoy it, you're welcome to fucking go.
Yeah, the doors aren't locked.
Yeah. You're not forced to sit here and watch it.
And then just ask for a fucking refund. Be like, no, I did not care for this fucking movie. And then leave. And those who are still either enjoying it or just
let other people enjoy it. If you don't like it, keep it to your fucking self and move on.
Yeah.
Unless you have a podcast. Then share it with the world.
But then do that outside of the fucking movie.
Do that outside of
And if you are trying to record a podcast while watching a movie, first of all, I don't think you legally can do that. Second of all, no, go fuck yourself. I don't want to hear your goddamn fucking commentary. Even as a kid, like I even at home, I'd rather everyone just shut the fuck up when a movie's on. Even this one I've seen before from the friends. Like I had friends like. It became a point where they just put the movie on so they could just talk with something going on in the background, and I'd get really pissed. Like, no, I want to know what's happening. What is the prestige? Are there why is there two Hugh Jackmans? What's Christian Bale? Like, I really want to know why. Everyone, shut up, Cole. You're being a dick. It's like we're here. You put the movie on this fucking movie. The movie is the activity.
Yeah,
that's.
If we're watching a movie, let's watch a movie.
Let's watch the fucking movie.
If we don't want to watch a movie, let's do something else.
Do we just want to talk and be gossipy little moronic teenagers? Then let's fucking do that. We can go to the park and do that. We can go out. We can do that. And we don't have to be watching a movie.
Let's go sit outside in front of the liquor store and see if adults will buy us beer.
Or fucking let's just sit outside of the clinic off of Main Street in my small town with all of us on our fucking trucks just talking about nothing important because what the fuck would we have to say that's important? Nothing. watch movies and indulge in art and try to learn more about yourself and expand your horizons and stop trying to ruin it for other fucking people.
Okay, so the second time I saw this movie, we're not recording.
Really?
No, I'm fucking with you.
Oh my god, dude. My heart sank. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
I'm
I'm
start this
totally
shit over.
I'm totally fucking with you.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the second time I saw this movie,
Oh, that was a visceral. Oh my god, I don't care for that feeling at all. It's like, what?
that's gonna be a good intro bit. The second time I watched this movie,
Yeah.
was at my ex-best friend's house, and he was with the girl he was dating at the time, and he's like, Fabian, choose a spooky movie since it's October. And I'm like, okay, well, The Witch just came out on DVD and streaming, so let's watch The Witch. And the entire time he was just like, I'm a comedian, I'm gonna tell my jokes through the entire and I'm like, oh my fucking Christ.
This is Mystery Science Theater, man. Shut up. Watch the goddamn movie.
And it's like, I don't want to be mean. Like, you've only been dating this girl for a little bit, and I don't want to be that asshole. It's like, hey, dude, you completely ruined that movie for me the second time I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've never been able to seriously watch this movie, and it's pissing me off that I can't.
Yeah.
So eventually, like, you know, I was like, I couldn't. I kind of let him know after a couple days and whatever. I was like, dude, that, like, fuck off.
Yeah, like that.
I was like, that, like, you were being a dick.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, that was really fun for me. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
That was great.
So, but it was like, okay, again, I was like, all right, let's skip and go to the next thing. So eventually, I went out, I was like, oh, cool, The Witch is out. I'm buying it because I have them. I was like, fuck it. So I bought it and I watched it alone because
that's the only fucking way you're going to be able to actually see the movie.
I fucking had to. I was like, all right, I'm watching it alone. And when I finally watched it alone, I was like, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is so incredibly well paced, and the story is so good. The character drama, like, everything about it is so well written. And it pisses me off that I didn't get to see it like that for the first time I ever watched it.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I like about movies is because they can't, like, it can be like enchanting enough to where you don't feel the need to talk and you can just watch
you
it.
You can't just be invested and watch the movie. It's like, I have to talk.
Or even then, or even like a problem I find now is people just pulling out their phones while a fucking movie is playing, or it's like TV. Like, I understand that's kind of a thing where you're on your phone, the movie and the show's going on, whatever, but just, I mean, that's why I have a hard time personally just sitting still and just doing the one activity.
Yeah.
But when I do it, I find it's incredibly relaxing and enjoyable. Just actually sit down and just watch something and just be invested in something if it's gripping enough to actually do it.
Yeah, and I feel that too, which is why, like, the only time I'm ever surfing my phone or like I'm drawing while the movie, or not a movie necessarily, sometimes, or like doing something else, is it's something I've seen before. It's something I've seen 1,000 times.
Oh yeah,
and I just need some background noise.
Oh yeah, like I'll put on, like, I've been listening to the ever living shit out of the Comedy Bang Bangs tour this year, but I've heard everything so often that, all right, we got that going on. Let's do something else going on. Like, and have the multiple stimuli and things like where calms down the erratic rabbit brain a little bit.
Yeah.
But if it's something new, and like, whether or not I'm enjoying it, something I just want to continue and figure it out. Like, I want just pure full focus.
Yeah, if it's something new, if it's something I haven't seen, I want to focus on. I want to.
Unless I feel the need to pull my phone out because the series is clearing losing me, then what I'll do is I'll just stop fucking watching that series.
Oh, dude, that hit me so bad the other day. Like, we were watching the second Jack Reacher movie.
Okay.
With
to
Tom.
say, like, you fucking went to your phone for a John Wick movie?
No. God, no.
I'm sorry that Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne were entertaining enough for you.
So, the second Jack Reacher movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like, the first one, I fucking loved the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was awesome. So, I'm like, that one keeps me invested, but I've seen it 4 or 5 times. So, we watched that one, we being my parents and my grandma who's in town. And so I was drawing during it. I was like, this is really fun. And every now and then I'd pick my head up. I was like, oh yeah, this fight with Jai Courtney is so cool. And and then fucking out of nowhere, God damn it, Werner Herzog pulls out, and
He pulls out.
yeah, he pulls out.
Wait, what? I don't think you were watching the movie you thought you were watching.
No, Werner Herzog's in the movie. But anyway,
He's like, here's to pull out.
So,
thank you for the sex. This is a good time, but I don't desire babies.
you have me inside of you, and you want my baby, but I will not allow you to have it.
I'm about to be a bad lieutenant in port of call on your New Orleans grizzly man.
So anyway, after that, we are like, oh, well, let's watch the second one.
Yeah.
So we put on the second one, and it just lost me so... Like, there are decent sequences in it, but it just lost me so fucking fast. It's so slow and just, like, boring, and I just couldn't, like... I was in it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. This opening sequence where he's breaking Colby Smulders out of a military, not prison, a military jail. Like, that seems pretty fun. Like, okay, cool. And then after that, it's like, and 15 minutes later, nothing's happening. I'm going to reach for my sketch pad because this sucks.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes later, nothing else has fucking happened. So I was like, all right, fuck this movie.
Wasn't that the last Jack Reacher that he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it became the TV series with Jim.
Yeah, so like,
Also weird.
in the middle of it, close to the end, like I was just like, this movie's losing me, like out loud, like I'm like like I'm just mid drawing, and my dad's like, yeah, it's really slow, and I was like, thank God I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Jesus, it's just so weird being bored by by a Tom Cruise movie,
Right?
like.
No, that's wild.
Yeah, you can't be.
That's a fucking Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise
movie.
movie. Like even like when
Homie has to run.
even if he's not
And
doing
for
anything
fucking
like that.
almost an hour, he wasn't running.
Yeah, like actually a Tom Cruise movie that I really like, and I'm actually not ashamed to admit it. I think it's called Night and Day, the one with Cameron Diaz.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
That one's
It's
just
a fun fucking movie.
I've seen that. That one's a lot of dumb fun.
Yeah, it's just dumb, pure fun, but it keeps you engaged the entire time. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, we've got another fun story about this. We're going long this
Oh
one.
shit! Long preamble.
We're not even at a half hour yet. We're fine.
Nice.
Another really fun one that I loved was Minority Report. That's a Spielberg one.
Yeah, Minority Report.
Like that was one of my everyday kid movies.
Yeah.
And to the point where I think my best friend at the time, still hang out with that guy. Shout out to Tony Bust or Tony Ortiz, whichever last name he's going by nowadays.
Weirdly enough, he's going by the Tiger as the last name.
Ortiz?
No, Tony.
Oh. Anyway.
That was a dumb joke, and I hate that I had to
I'm mad that I didn't get it. God damn it. Fuck off.
It was just a lazy dad joke.
Asshole. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So one day, him, me, and all of his siblings, we all just decided we were gonna buzz our heads for whatever reason. I don't remember why, but I buzzed my head, and in the end of Minority Report, after Tom Cruise breaks out of prison and everything, he's got a shaved head. So that was my shit at the time. So I buzzed my head without anybody knowing, like Mom, Sarah, anybody. Like nobody was mad.
It's still.
I'm pretty sure his mom asked my mom if it was okay, and she said it was fine.
Okay,
So
I would hope so.
otherwise, my mom would have been pissed. Anyway, so yeah, I come home with a buzzed head and a hoodie over it, and I just reenacted the last scene in Minority Report. Like I walked up to my sister who had no idea, and I'm like, Sarah. She's like, what? I'm like, what are you gonna do now, Lamar? And I pulled off my hood and my head shit, and she's like, what the fuck? Sarah's like 14 at the time.
It's nice to know something.
It was a solid bit.
Nice to know some things never change as you get older.
No, yeah, some things never change. You get. I've been the same as like that's my bit.
Yeah.
Is just fucking with people and doing movie quotes.
Fuck yeah, dude. No.
So yes, I've known what I've wanted to do for a very long time. Well, I've known what I wanted to do. I haven't known what I've wanted to do for a long time, but it was ingrained in me.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
There we go.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but I knew.
I didn't know, but I knew.
Yeah, you know?
It was like everything I think about is like filming shit with my homies in middle school, and then like working my way, like not knowing it, and then going into film school in high school and not knowing it and be like, maybe I should do this, and then thinking about it was like, oh, no, I should be doing this.
I mean, I get it. Looking back at my child, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen why I've always had that desire to do that thing. Fucking weird ass kid.
I want to act.
I want to act all the time. You know what I like doing? Entertaining people, making them smile, just with my shenanigans, or just redoing movie scenes all fucking time. It's like fucking talking to somebody at work the other day, and it was like, oh wait, is that a reference to this? I'm like, yes, you're learning. I'm not funny. I'm just references. That's all I am.
9 times out of 10, that's me.
Yeah, it's just like I don't have a original thought. I just watch a movie and then just like math. No, fuck that. Let's hold on to like this. Not even really obscure, but just very slight callback to Liar Liar for some reason. Like, because I went prenuptial agreement, and she's like, wait a minute. Is that Liar Liar? I'm like, yes!
Thank you.
Yes! God damn it. This is why I don't get along with any of you motherfuckers.
Well, too bad I don't work there anymore.
Keep just... It's prenuptial. The fact that she was been ridden more than Seattle Sue is irrelevant because she lied about her age. Anyway, just always just being that person that's like references, knowing movies, being able to like, it's like, oh, that's the one that has this person doing this person, or the one who's from this thing, and those kind of connections. Just being
my mom digged you a couple days ago.
Hey, what?
She digged you.
She digged me?
Like, you know, like insulted you.
Oh, digged.
Like digged you.
Okay, yeah.
Shouldn't be shit we're sharing on mic, but no, it was it was like I had to cut her. I was like, she was also drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to be like, no, we don't. I said something where it was like, well, Cole, I was like, Cole was more broken up about firing me than I was. And she's like, well, yeah, because now he doesn't work with any of his friends. I'm like, ouch.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he has friends. I was like, no. He's friends with Rhett and Miley and a bunch of
Rhett
people.
And Miley. I get along with everybody. Flo, I consider Flo a friend.
Yeah. And
it's like when you guys were there, like when you and your mom were there, and you kind of just commented on the difference between how I was when I was here versus that. And like, I just like putting on a show for Flo. He's a fantastic audience.
Flo's an amazing audience.
He's an amazing audience. Like,
I'm going to cut all that out.
Yeah,
because
cut it all
that doesn't.
Yeah,
but I was just like, ouch, no. What the fuck, Mom? She's like, sorry, I'm like 5 wine glasses in.
Also, I don't have many friends. I'll be honest. I'm not a social person. I don't care for, as I've said in previous episodes, I just do not care for majority of humanity.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all just get on my nerves.
I keep my social circle too.
Oh yeah, mine's like a very loose, like ring of keys. There's just a few. I didn't do anything that time. God damn it! I didn't knock anything over that time. Swear to God.
I hate when it does that. That in the background, cutting that shit out is so annoying. But like no, like yeah, I keep my social circle pretty small. It's like my family is my like that's my go-to hangout, and then I have my friends, and then I guess my drinking buddies.
Oh yeah, so
which were like just the Hopkins crowd.
Yeah,
but
see where mine's like I've got myself, and that's my preferred company.
Yeah,
and then we start kind of branching out a little bit to like, all right, family members. Certain family members, majority of family members, no, I don't have time for you. I don't care. We don't get along. What are we going to talk about? Nothing. We've tried this before. We've grown up together. I know we have nothing to talk about.
I hate that forced hangout with like family members.
Yeah,
like,
well, also why I don't go.
We don't gel. I get that we're family and we share the same blood, but like, we don't fucking gel.
Well, that's why I don't go to family functions if I can avoid it. So it's like I don't know most of, like we see each other maybe once or like when it like maybe once every other year because you have to go to the other spots like alternating family holidays and shit like that.
I get that. Yeah.
It's like I barely know any of you, and what I do know about you guys is that we don't have a lot in common or anything to really fucking talk about. So why, as an adult now, why subject myself to, you're suddenly more interesting now with your mortgage and your car payments?
Yeah, it's like, why would I give a fuck about your adult life if like we didn't even hang out?
You
as
are
kids.
technically
Like,
a family, like you're a family member, and they're my family members who are a lot more open and better. At
there
that
was
than
the
I am.
argument that it's like sometimes like you don't gel well as kids, and now you're like my sister and I hated each other when we were kids, and now we're best friends.
Oh, like Brian and I, like Brian was a bully as a kid, and we didn't get along, and now we get along. We talk. I think we've got a really good, healthy adult relationship. It can happen.
It's just weird.
But also, I've had a slight vibes with Brian that have always made sense in the past. Like there are certain things to connect on. Then you remember that he's the older.
This
cousin.
ultimately makes a lot of sense. Like this family bullshit makes more sense with the movie than anything else we've talked about.
Hey, I mean, we were talking about movies as a whole before, so I think it all kind of makes sense.
This movie doesn't like it's about one family.
Yeah.
But okay. Let's finish the preamble.
I think we've been talking long enough, and there's probably a fair amount of this that can just be chopped down.
A lot of the midsection can be trimmed down. So let's go ahead. We're going to wrap this up with number one, today's sponsor.
Harper.
This podcast is brought to you by Saladfield Productions, a new production company starting up here in Salt Lake City, Utah. They want to film shorts and inevitably movies
or a TV series. I just want to film stuff.
Keep your eyes out for Saladfield Productions. They will be posting shorts here soon on YouTube, and they're going to be a lot of fun. Mostly comedy, maybe sometimes horror, but you don't know.
But always a little bit of both.
Always a little bit of both. It's going to be a really fun production company you should keep your eyes on.
They've got fun ideas. It's going to be, honestly, I look forward to what Saladfield Productions does because there's a lot of fun, solid ideas, a lot of creativity behind it, awesome collaboration, and an understanding of each other that I think it's going to make for some really good quality shit. And if you don't think so, get in the comments, and I'll tell you to go fuck yourself.
Agreed. All right, so we are going to
slowly adjust the mic to not break the new fucking setup. And oh my god, it just popped off. Holy.
Yeah, it just popped off. It's in my hand right now. Well, fuck it. I'll fix that.
Right,
I'll fix that after, I guess.
Just gonna be extra careful now because now I'm kind of fucking scared. Oh boy, and I don't have my glasses, so reading is gonna be shitty.
Burp. Oh, I just burped into the mic.
That's a shot.
All right. Oh, that wasn't. Where the fuck? Okay. All right. So we already did a script reading from The Witch. So today you are going to get a script reading from Silence of the Lambs. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. All right. All right, you ready? Okay. Dr. Lecter's cell is coming slowly into view. Behind its barred front wall is a second barrier of stout nylon net, sparse, bolted down furniture, many soft-cover books and papers on the walls. Extraordinarily detailed, skillful drawings, mostly European cityscapes in charcoal or crayon. Clarice stops at a polite distance from his bars. Sorry, I was swallowing. It was like, yeah. Clarice stops at a polite distance from his bars, clears her throat. Dr. Lecter, my name is Clarice Starling. May I talk with you? Dr. Hannibal Lecter is lounging in his bunk in white pajamas, reading an Italian Vogue. He turns, considers her, a face so long out of the sun, it seems almost leached, except for the glittering eyes and the wet red mouth. He rises smoothly, crossing to stand before her. The gracious host, his voice is cultured and soft.
Good morning.
I love that setup for that. Cutting between them, as Clarice comes a measured distance closer. Doctor, we have a hard problem in psychological profiling. I want to ask you for your help with a questionnaire.
That's right. We talking about the Royal We, being the behavioral science unit at Quantica. One of Jack Crawford's. I know because I got a big brain.
I am, yes.
Show me your credentials. I'm a celebrity, so you have to let me see your credentials.
Clarice is surprised, but but fishes her ID card from her bag, holds it up for his inspection. He smiles soothingly.
Ooh, closer, please. Closer.
She complies each time, trying to hide her fear. Dr. Lecter's nostrils lift as he gently, like an animal, tests the air. Then he smiles, glancing at her card.
This expires in 1 week. You're not really FBI, are you?
Well, I'm still in training at the academy.
That's classic Jack. Jack Crawford sending a trainee to me. We've been through a lot, Jack and I.
We're talking about psychology, Doctor, not the Bureau. Can you decide for yourself whether or not I'm qualified?
That's a rather slippery of you, Officer Starling. Sit, please.
She sits in the folding metal desk chair. He waits politely till she's settled, then sits down himself. Faces her happily.
Now then, what did Mig say to you? Multiple Migs in the next cell? He hissed at you? What did he say?
He said, I can smell your filthy cunt.
I see. He's a big man. Big, strong, beautiful man. I myself, though, you use you have your own skin creams. Sometimes you wear your L'Al de Temps, but not today. You brought your best bag, though, didn't you?
Yes.
It's much better than your shoes.
Maybe they'll catch up.
I have no doubt of it.
Did you do those drawings, Doctor?
Actually, yes, I did. I'm a very talented man. That there's Grandma, seen from Belvedere. And do you know of Florines? I say words very well.
All that detail, just for memory.
Oh, from memory, yes, Officer Starling. I've got a big brain, smart brain, man, woman, camera, TV, Florence.
A pause, then Clarice takes the questionnaire from her case. Dr. Lecter, if you please consider...
No. You are doing fine. You've been courteous and receptive to courtesy. You've established trust with embarrassing truth about Mix. And now, this ham-handed you into questionnaires. I want to. It's stupid and boring.
That was set up so perfect.
Because I'm the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
I'm only asking you to look at this, Doctor. And either you will or you won't.
Jack Crawford must be very busy indeed if he's recruiting help from the student body. And what a body. Busy hunting that new one. I think it was the Buffalo Bill. Such a naughty boy. But he's a great boy. I love Buffalo Bill. He loves me. Came up the other day, shook my hand, and said, he puts the lotion in the basket. And I thought it was fantastic. Hilarious man.
God damn
Did Crawford send you to ask for my advice on him? Because I know him very well. It's strange. I get along with the really tough serial killers. All the weak ones couldn't keep up. But the really strong ones, Buffalo Bill, he has a hole. He puts them in there. And they got to put the lotion on the skin, or else they get the hose again.
No. I came because we need...
How many women has he used? Because I've got a body count myself.
5 so far.
All flayed?
Partially, yes. But, Doctor, that's an active case. I'm not involved.
Do you know why he's called Buffalo Bill instead of Bison Bill? Did you know that buffaloes are only native to Asia and Africa, and actually here in America it's not a buffalo, it's technically a bison. And isn't that sad? We call them buffaloes, and that's not really their name. Now, did you know scientifically they call bison? It's the craziest damn thing, Clarice. I tell you what, it's so fucking crazy. And I don't think Bill would know that. He's very smart. Hasn't been caught for a long time, but called himself by the wrong animal. It's very, it's sad, really. Unless he's maybe, a hot sauce with butter, then buffalo makes sense.
All right, well, I'll tell you if you look at this form. It started as a bad joke in Kansas City homicide. They said this one likes to skin his humps.
Witless and misleading. Why do you think he takes their skins, Officer Charlie? Thrill me with your wisdom.
It slacks him. Most serial killers keep some sort of trophy.
I didn't.
No, you ate yours. A tense beat, then a smile from him at the small boldness.
Send that through.
She rolls him the questionnaire in his sliding food tray. He rises, glances at it, turns a page or two, disdainfully.
Officer Starling. Can I call you Star? Star? Do you think you can dissect me with this blunt little tool?
No, I only hope that your knowledge... Suddenly, he whips the tray back at her.
Oh, God, okay.
With a metallic clang that makes her start. His voice remains a pleasant purr.
You're so ambitious, aren't you? You know what you look like to me? With your good bag and your cheap shoes. Well, you look like a rube, to be frank. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nutrition. And I know about good nutrition. It has given you some length of bone, if you know what I mean. But you're not more than one generation from poor white trash, are you, Officer Starling? Oh, so sad. That accent you've been trying to desperately shed. Pure West Virginia. What was your father, dear? Was he a coal miner? Did he stink of the lamp? Oh, and how quickly the boys found you. All those tedious, sticky fumblings. Sticky little fumblings in the backseats of cars. Well, you could get in, well, you could only dream of getting out. Getting anywhere, yes. Getting all the way to the FBI.
Oh, God, I have to stop this right now. This is lined up. I'm crying while trying to... Dude, I'm crying, trying to not laugh while you were doing that. Holy fuck, that lines up way too well.
He's a good friend of mine. I think we would have got along great. Donald Trump and I.
Holy shit, that was funny. Okay. All right, we're going to go watch The Witch. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
That is the other thing I forgot to mention that I know from this movie, and I only know that because Paul F. Tompkins says it quite often as various characters on Comedy Bang Bang while talking about the Vivitch.
You didn't answer the question.
Wouldst thou like to live delicious? No.
And we're back.
I like the struggle, man. Keep the struggle. It's fucking...
Oh, okay.
Feels
All
like,
right.
I would like to travel to exotic places. I mean, yeah, get by at what cost? Have to listen to a fucking goat?
Watching my entire family die?
Yeah.
But it's also Black Phillip, man.
Well,
Black Phillip is so goddamn charming.
Watching my whole family die after they've been nothing but dicks to me since we moved
Yeah.
to the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
And were willing to sell me.
And willing to sell me because I've reached womanhood and seeing how I'm tempting my brother because we're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in the middle of
And
goddamn knows where.
I'm the only attractive woman in
I'm the only person
however
burgeoning-
many
like,
yards.
yeah,
Let
I'm-
alone, I was like, yeah, no, like I said earlier, it's like
not a
yeah,
mother.
I'm going through puberty and my sister's Anya Taylor-Joy at 19, so like,
or however old she's supposed to be in this movie. Either way, it's two like kids, like one's past puberty or like in the ends of puberty, the other one's starting puberty. But you can't acknowledge that, and you got to think that's clearly Satan because this is a whole church. Fucking, that is one thing. Start off. I really like this movie. I like this movie a lot.
I'm glad you like this movie.
Oh, no,
this is one of my favorite horror
This is
movies
a
ever.
beautiful, like first of all, it's just a beautiful fucking movie. With
And
that
it's-
natural lighting,
yeah.
the shit they accomplish is fantastic.
Absolutely phenomenal. Cinematography
Off the charts.
out of the fucking
The
world.
acting is dope.
The acting is
the way they deliver their
top
lines
notch.
and everything is fantastic. That being said, just movies like this remind me how much I really just do not care for religion.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
overly strict religion.
Oh yeah.
It's like I imagine that there's a few things that can go back looking like, especially during this time where it's like a lot of like puritanical law going on.
Yeah.
where you can look back and you have either one of two views, either the wrong view, which is man, it was a lot better than they had that thing right, versus the right view, which is my God, how the fuck do we make it this far when we had that kind of shit going on?
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I was thinking about throughout this movie, which is would have been my sixth watch
The sixth watch.
of the 6th year of the 6th century, whatever. Anyway, I was just thinking about like I for some reason forgot like these are like fresh off the boat Europeans into America, like not I don't know why I wanted to think that they were more separated than that, like or further down. No, this is
early in American history.
In the synopsis it says 1630.
Yes, this is very early.
Yeah,
early on. Like, people are
early.
still coming to come across the pond to establish it, try to set up things better in the New World and all that.
And like even with Thomason talking to Caleb, trying to remind him of their life in England and everything, it was like he doesn't remember it, and blah 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 blah. And Caitlin wanted to go back to home to England, not home to the
plantation.
Yeah. So like it was that was kind of wild. Like I don't know why I forgot that part of the movie, but
oh no, I felt weirdly triggered throughout this entire movie. I found myself getting very angry. Especially at because I didn't take notes for a while because like I was immediately just hooked. I'm like, I don't want to look away from this.
Like it kind of grabs your attention, doesn't it?
But it's also
right off the bat.
Yeah, but it's also not like just like incredible like horror. Pay attention.
No,
it's like loops you in because it starts off with like a courtroom scene. Pretty much.
It starts off about them being kicked out of the plantation
because the dad thinks he's more religious than the rest.
The dad is too proud to blah blah blah. That's his sin. Is pride.
It's the sin of pride, which I mean that's really cool. Great way to introduce it all. I didn't find the Old English that hard to adapt to at all.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad. If you sit and actually listen to it, it's not that hard.
It's also not Shakespeare, which is like half the time.
That's my entire thing about this movie is if you sit and just listen to it for fucking 10 minutes.
Oh, you adapt right
You'll
away.
be fine. But people don't like as soon as they hear the opening line, what went me out into this wilderness to find, they immediately disengage. And it was like, oh, this movie's fucking dumb, dude. It's in a different language. I don't understand it.
It's like, no, this is what your fucking great grandparents used to fucking speak. Language has evolved rapidly over time, and we've talked like jackasses for the longest time, and we still talk like fucking idiots. I can't wait to see if the human race survives and we get to a point where they're looking back on any of our fucking slang.
Dude, the most ironic part is the dumbest fucking dialect is the New England accent.
It is. I thought they're kind of dumb things down there. It's, man, no, this was, I like this movie a lot, other than just feeling triggered and angry at any fucking
about
religious
fundamentalist religion, fundamentalist religion.
Well, and all right, take a shot, guys. Growing up in a small town and Mormon, there's a lot of that strict idealism behind it. Just
so I'm glad this is one of the ones I really wanted to show you for the longest time.
It was weirdly triggering.
Yeah, it was like being in that small town, I could that small fundamentalist
grip
right?
on you. I could feel my hands were tightened for a good chunk of the time. I could feel myself tearing up, not out of like sadness, but out of just rage of just like, shut the fuck up, you ignorant nerd.
Right?
Shut up. Like my first note is the twins suck and the mom sucks.
Yeah. No, the mom is the worst.
Oh yeah, like because she's the most extreme fundamental. Like she is the devout believer in all of it, and it's just incredibly frustrating.
The dad.
Because
the dad's devout and like everything, and
but he has the wherewithal to.
He's part of the reason.
Sin.
Well, he's the whole reason they left.
Yeah,
but even then, he admits it. But he's still trying just to get like his family through it.
Yeah,
like you can feel sympathy for the dad. He's like, I don't want my family to die. It's my fault we're out here.
Oh yeah, I do feel some sympathy for the dad, but also the dad does kind of suck.
Yeah. He still kind of sucks in a lot of ways.
Actively lying, like when he gets to like that.
Yeah, he actively lies to his wife and lets Thomason take the blame for it.
First of all, can we just agree on one thing? Yeah. That is a stupid fucking name.
Thomason.
Yeah. Thomason. That's stupid.
Yeah. I don't know. Those of you who know where that came from, put it in the comments. But
is it Thomason or Tomlinson?
Tomlinson. No, not Tomlinson. Thomason. Sorry. Thomas in.
My first name with an I-N.
Yes.
That
Thomason.
Fucking dumb. Also, the sin is literally
T-O-S Thomason. Your first name with an N. Yeah, Thomason. Don't think too much about it. Also, I'm trying not to.
Just you literally put sin in your child's name.
Yeah. Thomas Sin.
Thomas Sin.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones are named Mercy and Jonas and Caleb
Jonas.
and Samuel. Thomason.
Yeah. Thomason.
With fathers Will and Kate.
Yep. Well, I'd imagine that Thomason is a biblical name, but I haven't read the Bible, so I don't know.
I mean...
And those of you who are Bible crazy, feel free to light me up in the comments.
I mean, don't feel free to light me up, because according to your beliefs, I'm already going to be lit up, so why waste your time?
Yeah.
Just tell me
so
where that name comes from.
One of the scenes that actually, like, almost got me in tears. Like, I was actually like, fuck, dude. Was when the dad's on his knees and, like, talking to God and
pretty
being
much praying for forgiveness. Like,
yeah, and he's like,
this is my fault. I'm full of pride.
it's my fault. Pride's my sin. And I'll eat the dirt in your name. Just spare my children. And yeah, he actually like grabs dirt and shoves it in his face.
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it's nice to see a father be able to like, because dad issues for days. Dad scenes trigger me absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's like any scene. Like I know how to get myself to cry on cue now, because there's two different things that I can think of that make me instantly want to bawl. And one of them is like a father taking responsibility or showing pride for his family. Ooh, see, you can hear it right there. Just
Right
even saying it, I'm like, oh. But the entire time I was thinking, like, no, man, like, this is all your fault. And also, eating dirt, you're probably going to get some sort of worm, which will then, like, I was just imagining.
Either way, he was going to die the next day.
Yeah, just imagining just like all the ignorance from science and just the lack of innovations that we have now could explain a lot of the things. Like when they cut into the Caleb's head, who's, I guess he's got too much blood in the brain or some shit.
Yeah, no, I lit that up too. It was like yeah, you have a fever. The problem is you have too much blood.
That's the problem. Is your body's like, oh my, I'm really hot. You know what we got to do? Make more blood.
Yeah.
But also that's just back in the time, which being a period piece, it makes sense. Can't really judge them for that.
Yeah, the 17th century blood, because they're in the 1600s, so
1600s,
it's 17th,
17th
century.
It's because time is a construct and stupid.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So the first note I had to take. Like I wanted to pause the movie and ask a question, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow.
Right.
Is when the mom is talking about kind of like almost confessing her sin about her kind of losing faith in religion and mentioning that.
God damn, that's like third act.
I know. That's when I finally took a note.
Yeah.
But I was mostly curious because she's writing about how she like had like right before Samuel, before the little baby was taken, she had a dream, and how she was talking about it, it kind of seems like she had a sex dream about Jesus.
Yeah, almost, right?
It sounded
was
very
like the pleasure
of his golden. And he's just so glorious in his figure, and I have not been able to see him then since the kid was lost.
Right.
Which could just be a great way of contrasting.
I haven't had a sex dream about Jesus, but knowing me, I'll probably have a sex dream tonight about Jesus.
I mean,
and knowing me, he's probably going to be black and not Arab, which he was.
Oh, I mean,
and those of you can fight me in the comments about that.
Jesus was white. That's why they thought he was the son of God. He's the only albino in the middle of a goddamn desert.
Right. He was the only white dude in Jerusalem.
With blonde hair and blue eyes. That's just going off of my religion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's why he was clearly the son of God. It's like, what the fuck is that? Well, it's clearly, we're not going to try to kill that with fire. That's got to be the
according
son of
to the
God.
Mormon religion, people with dark skin were they have dark skin because they are born of sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. What a fun.
What a good thing to ingrain in your children.
Oh yeah, there's no way that could possibly have any repercussions later in life if they come across anybody.
Especially in like, oh my god. All right, anyway, moving on. God.
No, my notes are scarce and scant because I was like, first wondering if you had a sex dream about Jesus.
Yeah.
Not going to blame you there, girl. Seen the abs on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jesus is always shredded.
He's cut.
Always shredded.
I get it. I would definitely like to lick the body of it, like or lick his, pretty much lick wine off of his body.
I'd like to live deliciously.
I would like to live actually, yeah, because I would like to live deliciously, wouldn't I? Then just mentioning how everything sucks, twins suck. Plus, you're twins in a horror movie. I already know that you're the problem.
And they're also kids, so they don't know any better.
Well,
like they suck. Yes. Excuse me. Hang on. Mm-hmm. Had to burp, but
no, they do suck because they're shit. Because
they do suck. one, because they're kids, but also they're kids. They don't understand anything that's happening.
But also,
so
yeah.
they're like, there's a witch, haha, this is funny, let's play into it. Sort of like, that's kind of the take I get, is they're just playing into it, especially when Thomason and the kids are locked in the barn, and they ask each other, like, are you a witch? No. It's like, we're kids. We don't understand what's happening. Why is Dad so mad? We're playing a game.
I mean, I can see that, but also I feel like, given the times, they're really like uppity, mouthy, and imaginative, like a lot more than they should be.
Yeah.
Probably because they're talking to Satan Goat.
Yeah. Well, honestly, yeah, they are talking to the Satan Goat.
But it's like, so Anna Taylor-Joy is playing Peekaboo, which one of my first thoughts is like, that's such a fun and interesting thing that we all do as humans, is playing Peek, because it's object permanence, right? Playing with
That's such
a child's ability.
That's such a fun scene too,
It's
because
fun,
it
especially
happens so
and I'm
fast.
I'm expecting something to happen while that's happening, but just boom, kid's gone. It's like, this whole movie I was waiting for someone to just jump out, scare me. I was looking in the background.
No, there's no jump scares,
which
in
is
this
the
movie.
beauty of it, which is adds to the tension of
there's
it.
one at the end.
Yeah.
When the dad gets stabbed by Black Phillip.
Yeah.
But that's about
That's
it.
about. It's not even really a jump scare because
Not really.
Yeah, no. It was
No,
really,
it's more of a slow burn psychological
yeah.
character study than it is a haunted house movie.
Well, and then that doesn't really become more like supernatural until like towards the very end, like with
right. It leaves you
Yeah.
without like the witch in the beginning grinding up Samuel, which is dark as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I was really,
grinding up the baby and like putting his guts all over and everything.
Yeah.
Without that scene, you would have never have get like, it leaves the question: Is there a witch in this movie, like, at all?
Or did something happen? Is this all just,
It's
puritanical
a fun
superstition?
it's a fun deep dive, and it's that brings me to my next point was CinemaSins. Credit is where credit is due, but they label this movie as like, it's a family of God asking why God hates them, which it isn't. In my opinion, it's not a family of God asking why God hates them. It's a family of God, but the family knows their sins. Like, the dad is sinful of pride.
Anya Taylor-Joy, like one of her first things was her mention, like she does sin, she does doubt.
They all have their sins. They know their sins, and but
at least like the four adult-ish characters, like the mom,
it's
the
hard
dad.
it's hard to classify it as that, or it's hard to classify it as a family of God asking why God hates them. No, they all know their sins, but they're all refusing to repent for them. They're all prideful.
Yeah.
But they have their individual sins regardless. Like, Caleb's sinful of lust, and the dad's sinful of pride, and
mom's a bitch.
the mom's a bitch.
Honestly, I feel like Anna Taylor-Joy, I'm not going to say her actual name because it's such a stupid fucking name in the goddamn movie. Mm-hmm. But, like, I mean, she is a precocious, outgoing, and opinionated woman at a time where doing that is...
You would be labeled as a witch.
You'd be labeled as a witch because you have an opinion. You called out your dad, being like, dude, you suck at farming. You did this. You're the whole reason all this sucks. You can't hunt. You can't farm. You can't barter. You fucking suck.
Yeah.
You got kicked out of the goddamn plantation because you were so prideful.
He asked her to be truthful, and she was.
Oh, yeah. And
then he locks her up in the barn.
Yeah. Well, then also gets very prideful. He's like, bitch, and grabs her and picks her up and all that because he's like, yeah, done got called out, son. Like, dude, you fucking suck, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you screwed this whole family up, which I can't blame you. You don't have the tools necessary to form these kind of thoughts. And then just, I don't know, something I did wonder throughout the movie, if it was like a family curse, I like just they happen to just go away from society, live on the fucking, like edges, the fringes of like where the populated life is.
New England,
and then just having like all these witches and stuff that do stuff in the wood, and that's why like, don't go to the wood, don't do that, because it's all unknown shit. And I like that how it's just like, no, like you guys came to the wrong fucking place, motherfucker. I'm sorry. That's a goof on you, because you should have just apologized to the court and been like, okay, I guess I'm not more religious than everybody else. It's just,
yeah. I think the biggest sin of this movie is pride.
Oh yeah, that's pride in all things. Like, oh yeah, that's pride is definitely prevalent throughout all things, which I think is what ties into the end when Black Phillip actually offers things to Anna Taylor-Joy is a little bit prideful, and also I think it's kind of one of the lessons is you keep telling somebody that they're bad, eventually they're just gonna be bad. Like she's told the entire time she's a witch, she's fucking shit up. Her mom is a crazy bitch. She's trying to just like, no, stay away from my son. Like,
but also like, what other choice does she have?
Oh, exactly. Her entire family's dead.
To starve to death.
Yeah, she's who knows what age.
Like all the animals are dead. The farm is dead.
And the only
ground's
animal,
rotten.
And the only animal that isn't dead can just turn into a person and talk to her and offer her.
And like, even if you do eat him, like that's
just one
to
goat.
2-3 days meal.
Yeah. Got no horse, got no anything. So also, yeah, like the desperation and feeding on that, like that, man, it's a lot of fun and leaves a lot of questions. And it keeps your mind going the entire time, even though it's, I don't know if I'd say slow. It's just,
well, it's a slow burn.
Because it does pick up towards the end, like especially like once you see the witch just show up in the fucking barn.
Yeah, and I would argue to this day it's more of a character study.
Mm-hmm. Also, was that witch suckling on them goats' teats while the raven was suckling on the mama's teats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm like, I feel like that witch is going down on that goat.
She's getting her tit ripped off by a crow beak.
Oh yeah, and just that's another thing is just the blind faith and honestly probably trauma from losing so many kids and shit like that. Is she's gonna completely ignore the fact that she's got like a bleeding tit.
Yeah,
and then just start yelling at her daughter. It's like you've done this. It's like you were
like
you were literally bleeding from your fucking boob. Like a crow feast. Like you thought you were talking to your dead sons.
Yeah,
and you let the dead son feast on you.
Yeah, it's another big point is like this movie brings up very very heavy themes of one grief and another guilt.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say a lot of guilt because I think Anya Taylor-Joy does have a lot of guilt because Sam was lost on her watch, so she's trying to do the best she can. Like she even says, like, "Hey, let me go take care of like the goat, just to please you, Mom. Please, 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 like, love me."
Yeah.
And then the mom's like, "Okay." Like, I was waiting for the mom to like do some crazy duplicitous shit when she doesn't. I was like, "All right, just be fast, be safe." It's like,
go to
okay, maybe we're making some progress, and then nope, fucking Caleb shows up after making out with
it gets your hopes up just a little bit, but immediately squashes it
right there. It was no, dude, it was a lot of fucking fun. What are my other notes? Glad they're all dead.
Yeah, they all deserve to die.
Just oh my god, all these people suck. I mean, except for Caleb and Thomas, and like I feel like they're the most normal fucking characters.
Yeah, more or less.
More like I don't feel like Caleb's just like trying to do his dad proud, trying to like follow in the footsteps.
Yeah, where would you be at 12 years old?
12 years old, like in the middle of the fucking 1600, like late 1600s, trying to figure shit out. Like homie's doing the best he can, but he also still does have doubts because like when he asks, like, if we are born in sin, because that's that more devout fundamentalist religion. It's like, no, we are born in sin. We are constantly have to fight off our sinful natures. Samuel's a baby. He didn't have a chance, like, and unbaptized at the time. He didn't have a chance to fight off sin. Does that mean my little brother's burning in hell, even though he literally did nothing?
Fundamentally, yeah.
And his dad, who is trying to come, is like, no, like, that's why mom prays for him. Like, I'm sure, like, he's been taken into the arms of Jesus.
No, he's in hell.
No, he's in fucking hell. Based on your religion, he's in fucking hell. Whether he was taken by a wolf, or by a witch.
Let alone, like, he's just in limbo, but that's still hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first circle of hell.
Yeah, which is just a crazy fucking thing. If you actually, like, I guess because you can look back now these days and be like, that's a stupid fucking thing to condemn a baby or a child to. Like, that's something that also blew my mind. Growing up Mormon, it's like, so I'm good up until the point where I get baptized when I'm 8 years old. And then after that, like, I'm completely responsible for everything from there on out.
You're good before then?
Oh, like you haven't been baptized yet. You haven't been completely bathed and accept Christ's blessing. So also you're an innocent child. But once you actually take on the baptism, you're acknowledging that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, and that you need to live underneath his path and his light to go to
For
heaven.
some reason, Catholicism makes way more sense to me.
I know, because this is like the branch fan
no,
fiction
you're
version.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're fine until you get baptized,
and
then you suck. So why would I ever get baptized?
Well, that's exactly what I thought. I didn't get baptized till I was like 13, 14
I was like, why the fuck
old.
should I be baptized? If getting baptized means now I'm fucking up.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's also when you're
fuck that.
expected. Also when you're expected to start paying tithing and shit like
No,
that.
fuck
Like
that.
at 8 years old. It's like, yeah, no. It's like I'm a fucking kid. Like the fuck do I'm also a kid living in the middle bumfuck nowhere, being raised by the American education system. Like I am ignorant as fuck.
Dude, fuck that.
It's so.
I'd rather it be I suck until I get baptized. Regardless, if I don't get baptized, I'm still going to end up in limbo. But at least I'm in limbo.
No, it's you're entering a covenant. You're entering a covenant with God, man.
No, that's fucking stupid. Religion is fucking dumb.
No, that's just exhausting. I mean, I like things that have rules, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons, and like, I like stories that have rules.
Well,
But
here's
these
the
are
thing:
just-
it's like I think, as a concept, like I love hell and I love
Yeah.
the 9 circles of hell, and I think that's interesting as shit. Like, just all the different layers, and I think that's cool. That's
yeah.
way more interesting to me than heaven, where everything's
like all the nuances,
fucking-
the things that can get you like off the fucking list. Well,
fucking pancakes and shit.
Well, I like it as a story. I like the entire story from heaven and hell. It's like this was. Yes, got so many rules behind this. Like, and there's maps laid out.
It's
like,
just the stereotypical battle of good and evil.
yeah,
and
with
I
rules.
think
And
that's
yeah.
like that's
That's a fun story to
Dawn
be
of
into.
Time shit.
That's fun story to
right?
be in, like stuff to be
it's,
into.
It's fun Dawn of Time shit.
Yeah,
but
but, like-
like the concept and all of the art that has come from, like, honestly, like the battle of Michael and Lucifer, and Lucifer, like Michael striking Lucifer down, like that shit is way more interesting than any of the stories, and like being baptized in the religion, the
yeah.
art that came out of it.
Yeah, no, this.
Which I was talking to you about off mic.
Yeah.
Art is fucking my thing.
Oh yeah,
And like that image of Michael striking Lucifer down is fucking awesome.
oh yeah. We've talked about it before. Like how I like when I go to an art museum, I personally love going to like the Renaissance era, like Catholic themed shit, because it's just so cool and visceral.
Yeah.
Like as a story, this is fantastic. Actually, like trying to practice this and make this real is where it falls apart. But like
They
just
do
like
a comic book or
Yeah.
like a fucking anime of it. It was like
Yeah.
sweet, but like take it like 100% just book to text, or like text to
screen,
to
fucking-
screen.
Yeah, actual
Like
would be dope as fuck to watch.
would be it would be cool. It'd be
Yeah.
like, oh sweet, and then be like, but in either the pre or the post credits, just being like, this is not swaying you to join religion.
Yeah.
This is just purely
this is a
for
show
the story.
and for entertainment and for some like
Yeah.
lessons and metaphors that can be taken into your normal
Which
life.
is-
You don't have to live your life by this series.
Which is another thing. Like, I love the Dante's Inferno game because it was just so fun to run through the 9 circles of hell and having fun, like, and battling angels and demons and shit. But I love just hell as a concept for whatever.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's just so cool to me.
Well, I think it's. I mean, I don't know. I had a few drinks, so let's kind of get into it. Maybe it's just the level of like development and specificity when it comes to specific sins and certain foibles of humanity that make it incredibly interesting. Like certain even like natural, like pride is a natural part of ourselves. Lust, envy,
pride, lust,
wrath,
envy. Every
greed,
circle,
all of it. Like all of it's.
every human feels those emotions.
Oh yeah, exactly. Every single one of us is a poster child for this, like for the deadly sins, and I feel like taking those specific parts of ourselves and blowing it up, and like which a lot of movies do, like with this one, like pride being the main thing, like blowing up pride. So like now there's a circle of hell, blowing up pride itself, and what all that entails. It's fun as hell.
It's like
Doesn't mean you have to live your life by that.
Hellraiser, lust.
Lust,
Yeah,
or
it's lust to its nth degree.
or gluttony to its nth, because you can be gluttonous about so many things, whether it be like money or sex or food, drugs, wine, all that. There's various ways that you can just be glutton, or just like even affection, attention. You can just be a glutton for it. Like it's so fun. It's a great way of like
Pride, wrath, sloth, envy.
it's like the Seven Dwarves,
And-
man. You're always gonna forget one.
I was like, hang on. I was trying to do the Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's right. Andy Dufresne walk through.
Gluttony, greed, sloth, pride, wrath, lust, and envy.
Because envy is the last one, because that's what he who shall not be named.
There are 7 deadly sins, Captain.
And I didn't know that I would be the one, but I just found myself so jealous of you. But yeah, also shout out to fucking Seven. Great goddamn
Yeah,
movie.
we'll
Great
be
way
watching that movie soon.
Oh yeah, like it took me forever to see that movie because as a kid, like I just knew like there's no way in hell I can handle this.
It was that's just such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting a little off topic.
Sorry,
Anyway,
Sorry.
to wrap it up.
To wrap it up, sorry. That's just the problem with talking about anything kind of religious. You can easily just expound
Yeah.
and delve into it. Me growing up Mormon and just, I mean, you've got some Catholicism in your background and like relatives that are like that, and talking to you about that, just making Mormonism even more crazy, so much more fun.
Yeah. So to wrap this movie up,
Yeah.
it's a very, very fun character drama about a religious family who won't like they're trying to atone for their sins, but they won't necessarily admit to their individual sins, and there just so happens to be a witch.
Several witches apparently at the very end. It's like, where did all these other ladies come from?
Yeah. There's several witches. Well, that's another thing that's kind of hard in translation with the New England or not New England, Old English language, is like when Caleb's in his trance he talks about the witch, the rabbit, the several other animals.
The lion, the witch, the wardrobe.
Exactly. He the goat. He lays bare to the other witches in the area, but nobody really understands what he's talking about. And we, as the audience, if we're not reading with subtitles, don't understand what he's talking about, because that scene is kind of hard to understand.
It is kind of hard to understand.
But he does talk about them.
Yeah, but the gist of it is covered. And also, if you notice, the twins aren't fucking saying or doing shit. Fucking Anna Taylor-Joy, Kate and Will are the ones like having their hands joined, doing the fucking prayer to help homie out. Whereas the shitty ass twins are passing down the corner. Because pretty much, if you have twins, bank on always being in a horror movie in real life, because one of them or both of them are going to fuck you up. Before you know it, you're just going to be like holding hands, an elevator door is going to open up, and a river of blood's going to come flooding out.
I would say that too. Like it's a very easy horror staple is twins.
Twins.
Twins.